Hey book buds, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sean and today I'm going to share my summer TBR as a mood reader. It's really hard for me to stick to a specific list of things that I am going to read at any given point. Just because I am such a mood reader, I will make a list and then the next week not even want to do it. So this list that I'm giving today is quite ambitious. I have 13 books. It's very unlikely that I'm actually going to get to all 13 of those books, but I wanted to give myself options, and this covers an array of genres. There's some fiction, some nonfiction, so I definitely think that this stack will be what I end up pulling my monthly reads from, but who knows? I'm a wild pony, so really anything can happen. These books include things that are in my 24 books of 2024, so I can check some sort of goals off of my list, which, you know, will give me some excitement and maybe some motivation to actually read some of these. I try to curate a list that has some summer vibes in it. I don't know if these books, if all of them are actually summery, but I either chose it for the cover or just the premise sounded summery to me. It's pretty rare for me to give books 5 stars, so I do have some 5-star predictions in here, but more than that, 4.5 stars is kind of my 5-star. So 5 stars to me are books that everyone has to read. For instance, if it's like a gardening book and I give it 5 stars, that means like anyone who gardens has to read this book. If it's just like, for instance, a memoir or like a fiction book, if it gets 5 stars, that means that I think like everyone in the world needs to read it. So 5 stars are just like pretty rare for me to hand out. My 4.5 stars, I would say, typically align more with what like most people's 5 stars are. So 4.5 stars just means that I loved it. I 10 out of 10 will reread it. It's something I will not stop talking about or shut up about, and something that I would highly recommend to folks. So in here, I'm going to discuss some 5-star predictions and my 4.5 star predictions, since 4.5 stars are kind of where I give like my highest praise. That being said, let's get into the list. First up, we have A Land with a People, Palestinians and Jews Confront Zionism, a collection of personal stories, history, poetry, and art, edited by Esther Farmer, Rosalind Pacheski, and Sarah Sills. With the ongoing genocide happening in Gaza, it was really important for me to read up on some Palestinian history, and this was really interesting to me because it was a combination of both Palestinians and Jewish voices, with it being poetry, art, short stories. I think it'll be just a little bit easier to digest and understand. It's really important for me to get firsthand accounts, especially with the media being so skewed. So yeah, I anticipate this is going to rip my heart out a little bit, but I also think it's going to be a 5-star read. It is also on my 24 books to read in 2024. The library did not have the jacket, and it's actually a really beautiful cover, so I'll put a photo of it right here just so you know what it looks like. Next up is another library book, All This Could Be Different, by Sarah Thankum Matthews. I initially got this because my hold on Hijab Butch Blues hadn't come back from the library yet, so I needed to read a queer immigrant story for my queer lit readathon, and I started reading this and only got through like 30 pages or so before my Hold On Hijab Butch Blues came in. That book was on my TBR for a very long time, so I really wanted to read it, but this was actually still interesting to me, so I want to read it for summer. Next we have Diavola by Jennifer Thorne. I am going to buddy read this with my bestie, and she's very excited to read it and has been patiently waiting for Pride Month to be over because I exclusively read queer during Pride. The premise is like the MC goes on a family vacation and at like a villa in Tuscany, I believe, or somewhere in Italy, Monteperso. I Don't know where that is, but I think it's in Italy. So she's on a family vacation. That just screams summer to me. I love horror anytime. And yeah, a haunted house vibe is good for me. I predict this is going to be a 4.5 star just because I love a haunted house trope. I'm obsessed with this cover. It's so creepy and I'm really bad. I absolutely judge books by their covers. I would say 9 out of the 10 books that I buy just for the cover. So for better or for worse, I am who I am. Emergent Strategy is another one that I was initially going to read for the Queer Lit Readathon. It kind of feels like a slog to get through, so I'm probably not going to finish it in June, but I clearly am tabbing it a lot and really enjoying it. But there's just, yeah, sometimes nonfictions just take some time to get through. So that's what is happening here. I really love Adrienne Marie Brown. I do absolutely want to finish it. This also was on my 24 books in 2024. So. Yet another book from my 24 and 2024 is Every Drop is a Man's Nightmare by Megan Kamali Kakimoto. I hope I'm saying that right. I love this cover. This is a collection of short stories. I absolutely love short fiction. When you can make a cohesive story in just a limited number of pages, it is so impressive to me. So this book, I don't really know much about it. It's an arc that I got from my bestie. It seems like it is about like Hawaiian indigeneity and Japanese immigrants, with like talking about the horrors of colonialism. So I'm pretty sure it's a horror, and because you know colonialism is horrifying. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This maybe will be a 5-star read. I think it'll at least for sure be a 4.5 star. Yet another library book we have here is Greta and Vladin by Rebecca K. Riley. My bestie read this and said that I just had to read it. I love a pink cover, so I said absolutely. I'm about 50 pages in right now, so I'm sure I'll finish it. It's, I think, just about like some family dynamics and some family drama, which I love. I'm in, so we'll see. Maybe 4.5 stars? I don't know. So far, it's pretty good though. I was perusing the library and came across this Housewitch by Katie Schickel. The cover just looked super goofy, and the premise just feels kind of like campy. So it's about this stay-at-home mom of 3, which I immediately was vibing with, that wants to like try and fit in with the cool moms and the bougie moms in her neighborhood, which like isn't my vibe, but whatever. It seems silly, and it kind of sounds like she gets like entrapped in an MLM, but then like discovers she's a witch. I don't actually know how this is gonna go, but it looked silly, and who doesn't love a palette cleanser? I figured I might need it after some of the books that I'm reading, so we'll see. How to Do Nothing, Resisting the Attention Economy by Jenny Odell is on my 24 books to read in 2024. I don't know if this book is going to be for me though, because I don't feel like I am a hustle and grind girly. I believe that rest is resistance. I don't believe that you need to earn rest. So I'm interested to know if this is going to be a little redundant for me. I just love the cover though. So I was like, okay. And like really anything that's like fuck capitalism, I'm in for. So I'm going to give it a go. We'll see how I like it. Ugh, this next book. Okay, so Let Us Descend by Jasmine Ward. This book has been on my TBR, and when my spouse and I were in Barcelona earlier this year, I saw this copy and immediately had to add it. There are little gold foil bees. I don't know if you can see that. It is just so beautiful. The letters are like black matte, and then there's like drippy glossy black over them. It is just such a stunning cover. Gorgeous. Probably one of the most beautiful covers that I own. So I immediately had to have it, this specific version. And initially I thought it was a horror. I don't know why I thought that. Maybe just because Descend reminded me of The Descent, and that's one of my favorite movies. I don't know. For some reason, I was under the impression it is a horror, but actually, from reading the back cover, it sounds like a slave narrative, which, like, I'm usually not really a big fan of. I don't like it in movies, and so I don't know that I'll love it in books, but it's about like a young enslaved girl in the Carolinas. So I think it's going to rip my heart in two, and we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be a 4.5 star prediction, but who knows? I don't know if I said it, but this is also on my 24 books in 2024. Marilou is Everywhere by Sarah Elaine Smith is up next. I don't actually know too much about this book, but it sounds like it is gonna have some suburban ennui vibes. I just feel like suburban ennui is the perfect end of summer vibe. So I'll probably end up reading this in like late August, early September, when it's really hot and you're just kind of feeling like you're in the doldrums. That is when, like, I want a suburban ennui. So we'll see. Like I said, I don't know anything about this, so the vibes that I'm picking up might completely be off. Next up is Outlawed by Anna North. This cover is phenomenal yet again. I believe I was gifted this, but it had been on my TBR anyway. I love when authors take something that's like heavily patriarchal, like Westerns, and give it a feminist twist. So this book is about a young, well, she's a teenager, so 17, so she's a child, but I'm gonna, say maybe a coming of age where this young girl, young woman, she's not a woman yet, so whatever, it doesn't matter. She is married though, and then I guess like abandons her husband and joins like a merry band of outlaws. So yeah, I'm in. We'll see. Maybe 4.5 stars. Yeah, I think maybe 4.5 stars. I'm late to the game, y'all. I understand and know this, but The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, it also is in my 24 books to read in 2024. I actually read Circe before this, and 5 stars. I was obsessed with it. I loved it. I can't wait to reread it. And yeah, from what I hear, this will likely be a 5-star as well. I'm a huge Greek mythology nerd. I grew up on it, and really I'm just kind of like an immediate yes whenever Greek mythology comes across my table. So really looking forward to this, and I think there's probably going to be some gay stuff in it too. So 100 yes for me. And then finally, I have When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. I'm going to read this for Summerween. So I'll link the Summerween announcement down below. This book fulfills at least 4 of the 5 prompts. There's no way I'm going to be able to read 5 books in a week, so I wanted to try and find one book that would fit all of the prompts, and it definitely fits 5 words in the title, a night scene on the cover. It is a thriller, and I can read it at night. I mean, you can read any book at night. The only thing that I'm not sure about is whether or not this is set in summer. I tried to do some Googling, but I didn't really want to get spoilers. So I asked my bestie who read it a while ago, and she like vaguely recalls there being some like cookout or something. And since it's based in New York, I'm going to assume that cookout happened in summer. So fingers crossed it will check off all of the boxes. If not, then maybe I'll have to read a second book that week. This is kind of touted as like Get Out vibes, which love that movie. So pretty excited to read this. It's like about gentrification, horrifying. I think this will probably be 4.5 stars from me. I think that's like 3 or 4 4.5 star predictions and like 2 or 3 5-star predictions. Yeah, so that's not bad. I'm really looking forward to getting through a good portion of this list. Like I said though, it's very ambitious. I got 2 kids, So I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to read that much, but I'm gonna try. That's it for today, book buds. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe so you don't miss any of my bookish content. I have TBRs, my reading journal updates, book reviews, all that good stuff. If you've made it this far, drop a bee emoji in the comments for my gorgeous cover of Let Us Descend by Jasmine Ward, and also let me know what you're planning on reading this summer. All right, I'll catch you next time. Bye.